Hello everyone, we're so glad you're here and glad you're tuning into this video. I'm Mr. Earnest.
I'm Mr. Beck.
And we're here to be your tour guides coming up in, I don't know how many months, but a few
months.
A few months, we're really excited. It's coming soon. Get ready.
We wanted to share with you some of the itinerary that we're going to do. And so, yeah, we will be arriving in London in Sunday, March 31st, on Sunday, March 31st.
Easter Sunday.
I forgot that. That's great. Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
And we'll be visiting Windsor Castle. We're going to an Airbnb. We'll have obviously, we're going to have a dinner. And then we'll actually go and see some singing at a local cathedral. It'll be kind of a special experience on that kind of Easter Sabbath day. It'll be really cool.
We're going to do a little devotional at the end of that first day. So
That's right.
Get ready for that. We'll kind of give you some ideas of what to expect on the trip as far as spiritually and, maybe a few other things there with that devotional that evening. All right, now on Monday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, don't be thinking of anything. All right, morning is in Highclere Castle, which is Downton Abbey, if you've seen that. Or we're going to be going to the Blenheim Palace, where the Duke of Wellington was gifted this palace when he defeated Napoleon. So after that, we're going to Oxford. Okay, we're going to go to Christ Church College, Bodleian Library. We're going to see Tolkien's grave, C.S. Lewis's grave, and we're going to go to a special church for an experience about C.S. Lewis there. So there's also going to be a lot of Harry Potter filming sites we'll see that day. It's going to be pretty epic.
Sweet. And on Tuesday, the next day, April 2nd, we are going to go to London. And we're going to start together in London. We're going to be seeing the Churchill War Rooms, Westminster Abbey. Churchill War Rooms is where Winston Churchill's administration actually commanded the war effort during World War II for the British, and it's all preserved. It's really awesome and fascinating. There's a lot of great stories there. Then we're going to go see all the big sites that you're kind of familiar with, the Houses of Parliament, Big Ben. We are going to have an opportunity to go to the Imperial War Museum, which is one of the finest history museums in the world. I am beyond excited to go there. We're also going to be going to see the Globe Theatre, talking a little bit about Shakespeare, and then that evening we'll partake in a little theater of our own. We're going to go and see a performance at the West End of Les Miserables. I'm very excited about this. Now, the one thing that's really important to remember is this is not the American heritage version of Les Miserables. This is the Les Miserables with a lot of the themes and nuance that are from the original book, and so just be prepared for that.
Some heavy themes, we could say. And it's like the full version of Les Miserables that they'd perform outside of school.
But it should be a really great experience.
Mm-hmm. Wednesday, all right, we're going to be in London still. And on Wednesday in London, we're going to have something a little cool and special where we're going to divide into groups based upon some interests that we want to go to, or interesting places rather. So like the British Museum, Tower of London, Greenwich, Buckingham Palace, and so on and so on. Okay. We're also going to be using a double-decker tour bus as our transportation.
On Thursday, plans are still pending a bit, so we will revisit Thursday later. But that evening, we are going to take the train from London through the Channel to Paris, and we are going to end up in a town called Bayeux, and that is near Normandy. We're going to be prepping for Normandy the next day. And don't mind, I'll just talk about Normandy on Friday, April 5th.
Please do.
Yeah, that's my day. I'm so excited. You guys ready to watch me cry on a beach? Because that's what's going to happen. So we are going to be led around Normandy by an incredibly experienced and really dynamic tour guide. I'll also be adding in a little bit of my own stories and commentary as well. But our tour guide, his name is Chris Emery. He's a retired Royal Marine, and he has been giving tours in D-Day for 20 years. It's going to be a really amazing experience and a really sacred experience. And then that evening, we're just going to kind of hang out in Bayeux, and it should be it's the part of the trip I am personally looking most forward to.
Normandy is amazing. I'm so glad we get to go there.
Yeah.
On Saturday, very, very early in the morning, okay, we're going to depart from Bayeux and we're going to go to Paris. And we're going to experience a lot of the majesty of Paris. Okay, we get to go to the catacombs, In the catacombs, we'll have a lot of connections to the French Revolution, and which will connect us to Victor Hugo. So that's going to be a pretty epic place to see, and it's down into the earth. It's kind of cold down there. It's just lights, kind of like walking through a cave a little bit. It's pretty cool. We're also going to get to go to the sewers of Paris. If you're thinking Les Mis, think Les Mis, sewers, what do you think? Yep, right there. Sewers of Paris. We're going to get to see Notre Dame. Now, how close we'll be able to get to Notre Dame and everything like that, we'll figure out kind of as we get along because of the construction and things that have happened there. We get to go to a dinner, or have dinner rather, at the Grand Velour. And then after that, we're going on a riverboat tour. And this is a great, awesome tour. You get to see the Eiffel Tower. You get to go along the main things of Paris, right in the heart of it. You get to see from this riverboat that night. Really awesome.
So cool. The next day, April 7th, Sunday, we will have another day in Paris. We will be hitting a church service, likely an LDS ward there in Paris. But we'll be hitting a church service, and then we'll have the day to kind of see parts of Paris that appeal to you most. And we'll be doing what we did in London, where we kind of split into groups and just go to what appeals to you most. But this is an opportunity to see the Louvre, the Paris Opera House, Victor Hugo's home. I bet Mr. Earnest has a lot to say about that. And there's some really great museums and all kinds of things there. We'll also be doing a double-decker tour bus in Paris. Is that true? That's cool. We're all about the double-decker buses here.
Double-decker.
So, yeah.
I'm right on the top.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit of an open form day where we kind of get to go, and you guys get to go based on where you're most interested. Should be really, really fun.
And then Monday, we get to tour an airplane by flying home. We're going to be flying home on Monday. Yeah, majestic airplanes across the sea. Okay. We hope that you are feeling great excitement for this. There's so many epic things that we get to see in these locations and studying the people of Tolkien and Lewis and Victor Hugo and the things that they did, as well as all the World War history and the spiritual connections to them all. We get to see the hand of God working in these people and these places. And that is going to be very, very edifying and powerful. We're excited.
It's going to be really fun. History comes so alive when you're at the place where it happened. It's just a different experience. And so for somebody like me who has studied Normandy all my life, the opportunity to actually go and experience the place is just an entirely different thing. I'm very, very excited, grateful that we get to share this experience with you. Now, there are a couple, we have some reading recommendations that we would like to offer to you that would be really valuable for you, give you a little bit of a background, both in the history and the literature, before we go that will deepen your experience. One is called The Splendid and the Vile by author Erik Larson. This is one of my favorite World War II books, and it follows the period of time from when Winston Churchill was made Prime Minister and about a year period where England was standing alone against this Nazi regime. And it was a really intense time, and this book is excellent. So it's called The Splendid and the Vile, and that is by Erik Larson.
We're also going to be looking at two biographies specifically. And these are, of course, if you have time. There's not like you're not going to go on the trip if you don't get to read it. But we highly encourage looking in these things and drinking from it if you're able. Surprised by Joy by C.S. Lewis. That is his own personal autobiography of his early years. And it really shows the conversion process of Lewis, which is absolutely a breathtaking journey to learn from. If you've heard of the one-man show called The Most Reluctant Convert, it pulls a lot from Surprised by Joy, which there's a film version of that, and I'd check that out. That's pretty awesome. There's also a book called Tolkien's Faith. It's a spiritual biography by Holly Ordway. We're going to be looking at that as well, which is, this journey that Tolkien's been on, and he was a great influence on C.S. Lewis in bringing him. So we'll see those both as well.
There will be some other readings, some excerpts and other things that we'll recommend as we get closer to the trip. But the more that you invest in preparation for this trip, the deeper your experience is going to be. The more familiar you are with the history and these individuals we're going to be talking about, C.S. Lewis and Churchill and Tolkien, the more impactful this has the potential to have for you personally. So we really encourage you to, as much as possible, pick up a book, take a look, try to learn more about these guys because it will enrich your experience a lot.
Also, of course, Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. That is going to enrich your Paris experience so powerfully. There's specific places he refers to, there's specific events that we'll talk about that he refers to, and just the beauty of that story is powerful. If you want to tack on to that Lord of the Rings too, you got 2 major ones, you could do that as well. Okay, so that would be another recommendation that for sure to get involved with. All right, we have a few logistical items for you, and I will just read it word for word, so there's no mistakes on my end or Stu's end. Okay, so everyone will recall that the base price did not include admission to the sites we are visiting, those really awesome places we get to go. Many of these require us to book in advance, so we're asking everyone to Venmo an additional $375 so that these arrangements can be made and we can get there in timely manners. A lot of these places have a hefty admission price, and we're going to a fair amount of them, which is pretty cool. So you'll receive an accounting on how this money is spent, and any unused funds will be returned to you. Absolutely 100%. Okay? So places like Windsor Castle and the Louvre don't give any refunds. So if you can't make it, we wouldn't get the money back. For instance, like if our bus gets a flat tire, that one we can't get refunds and stuff like that. Okay, or if you decide not to go but pay for it in advance, that's another situation.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this $375 will also include sack lunches that we're having catered on 2 of our excursion days, one where we're going to Oxford, the other where we're going to Normandy. The $375 will cover the cost of lunches for those 2 days.
Okay. Also, if you don't have a passport, you really need to get one. And if you don't have it now, you might be in a little bit of trouble. So that's just a reminder. We got to have that. You please do get it.
Move immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing, the most common question that Mr. Reed is getting is, can I room with so-and-so or this person or that person? So right now, we're considering the request, but it's not going to be, nothing's going to be put into stone. Okay.
Yeah, there's still some pending stuff, so we're trying to figure out how the arrangements will look. We will take those requests into consideration as we go.
Yeah, and that's probably the best we could do because there's a lot of logistics to figure out and look after. So, also, if you have any ancestry that comes from Europe, especially in England and France, and war history or members of your family that served in the military during these times we're going to be, or during the times of these events and locations, please get familiar with that, okay? Because we're going to have an opportunity to perhaps go to some of those places that your ancestors walked and were at. And that is a really enriching experience. Now we're going to be having devotionals in the morning and the evening that can kick off and end our days. And that could be also an opportunity where we may get to hear those stories. So we look forward to that experience. So do a little homework on that if you can.
So we are so excited for this trip. We're excited to share these experiences with you. Really grateful for Coach Reed and all the work he has put into the prep for this. Same with Mr. Buer. And we're all just really excited to get onto an airplane with you and to just go share this experience. If there's anything we can do to help you prepare or deepen your experience, please let us know. We are committed to making this a really, really great experience and are excited to share it with you.
It's going to rock. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.